Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So I had a few questions from a beginner scrapper about ceiling fans. Do I find them often? Do I remove the copper bearing motor inside and sell as is? Or do I take the time to remove the copper and get number 2 copper price for that? What are some of my tips and tricks to remove it if I do? So I'm going to answer those questions. Behind me here, I actually have 5 ceiling fans I found last week. We had a huge heat wave, and I was able to find these at various houses. People turning them on because of the heat, noticing that they don't work, upgrading, updating. So did get these, so they are an excellent source. So I would say best time for me, early summer, especially when it's hot out. And they are an excellent source of scrap material. I could actually bring them in as is and get a appliance weight price. This gold one you see there is actually 10.4 pounds. So it's about 6 to 7 cents a pound right now Canadian. So better than nothing. However, what I love about ceiling fans is each one of them does have a really nice copper bearing motor inside. I do want to answer another question I had. Have I ever come across any of the motors that are aluminum? Not yet. But given our day and age right now where manufacturers are replacing a lot of copper with aluminum, I wouldn't be surprised if they are out there. But all 5 of these are copper. I have already checked, and I have yet, as mentioned, come across one that's aluminum. But again, it doesn't mean that they're not out there. So all of these as is, I can actually sell these as copper bearing motor price. And currently right now, going for 52 cents a pound Canadian in London, Ontario. So a good price. I have weighed it. This one right here, actually for this experiment, I weighed. It weighs 4 pounds, 3 ounces. So over $2 for this. But before I go ahead and talk about the copper that I have from this, I do want to mention the other parts of this that are worth scrapping and taking off. The fins that came off of this one, so I will focus on this one. A lot of tin here, all of this shell here. If I put a magnet to it, you can see it is magnetic. So this is going to give me tin price, and currently right now going for 10 to 12 cents a pound for this. I will put in my final comment section the final breakdown of this fan as is torn apart. So just going to go through right now the parts as well as price. But the weights will be at the end. And what I like about this too is it also has the fins that hold the blades. And these, as you can see here, putting a magnet to them, they are non-magnetic. These are actually zinc cast. And these are going to be clean zinc cast. I have broken one open for you just to show you. Easy to do with a hammer. I didn't have to. But because these are non-magnetic, they're clean. Currently right now, clean zinc cast going for 45 cents a pound in London, Ontario. So that is excellent. Some of them, like this gold one here, can be fooling you. Sometimes I have seen them plastic. These ones right here are actually zinc cast as well. Just going to turn it to the camera. You can see the metallic look underneath that. It is a coating, but these are also going to be zinc cast. This one as well. Non-magnetic, zinc cast as well. I have seen a few that are magnetic. If they are magnetic, they are going to be going into my tin. I have seen some things that have dirty cast. If I was to, for example, bring this in and I could not get a screw out and it had the magnetic attraction, going to give me dirty zinc. Currently right now going for 15 cents a pound. But all of this is going to be clean except this piece. I did have to actually break this off. It connects to my top of the fan. There is a little bit of zinc cast on here. You can see, put a magnet to it. The arm there is magnetic, but this part is non. So I'm going to throw this in and get my 15 cents for dirty cast. Better than tin price at 12 cents a pound. So want to maximize my profit for sure. The other nice thing about these is they do also have a lot of times a lot of wire inside of it. This wire here, currently right now as 40% appliance wire, going for $1.90 a pound, so a great price. These capacitors, you see small ones here, I actually just throw these right into my e-waste. Not much money for these capacitors. Sometimes they will just take them free of charge. There are different types of capacitors you're going to find, but these are the ones you commonly find on electronics and circuit boards. And another thing that I love about these is that you want to check is your off and on switch. You do want to scratch these because sometimes these can be brass. And just to show you, I do have a file that I am going to just pick up right here to scratch this one to see. This one you can see, remove the coating. Hopefully you can see, unfortunately the lighting is not great in here, but there it is. You can see that gold glistening off that coating. So some brass here, and this brass currently right now going at $3.53 a pound. So brass in our scrappers world continues to be our scrapper silver. The little screw-on knob that comes with it too, you do want to check these as well. These can also be brass. Sometimes they're not. If it shows a metallic look, it's going to be probably aluminum, but this one here is, no, this is magnetic or metallic, so this is not brass, but I do make sure I scratch that as well. So sometimes those are brass as well. So your on and off switch for sure, and it's just right inside. I could just pull out all of this wiring here. So you want to make sure that you pull that out. The rest of this is going to be tin. The other nice thing about some of your ceiling fans too, not to ever forget the light bulb ports. Inside you can see the metallic look is going to be aluminum. There's a small piece of brass inside that touches that light bulb. So I do take that apart. I will crack this open, get out that clean aluminum and that brass. But the rest of this is going to be tin, so that's nice as well. Inside the motor always connects inside. It's very easy to do, just removing it with some screws. But there is going to be several large pieces of tin as well in here. Sometimes these do have a very thick, heavy magnet. You can see as I turn that inside of that. I don't go ahead and break that off. Some people will collect that for the ferrite. They'll sell it separately. I just leave this as is. And this actual piece is thick enough. This could actually be classified as steel. When we refer in our scrapper in Southwestern Ontario, we look at magnetic material thinner or thicker than 1/4 inch. So any type of magnetic material that is thicker than 1/4 inch would be steel. So a lot of your structural beams like this, trampoline poles, very thick. Things that are thinner than 1/4 inch, a lot of your appliance panels, for example, microwave panels, appliances, all of those are going to be tin or shred. So that's what I refer to, not the makeup of the material. But again, steel a little bit higher, about 2 cents more, but I am not going to just take this and, drive to a separate pile in the scrapyard for a couple extra cents. So a lot of times I just throw it all in with my tin, get that price, but you do have some really nice weight to this. So again, I will include full breakdown weight to this, as well as my clean zinc cast at 45 cents a pound. And finally, looking at my copper bearing motor here, there has been a lot of debate online. Do you take them apart or leave them as copper bearing motors? I would say, given the price of copper right now, all of this is number 2 copper, and currently London, Ontario, going for $5.23 a pound. Copper continues to be our scrapper's gold. And for me, even if there is a small amount like this, I stack it into a bag and it quickly does add up. So I do have, just beginning here, as mentioned, this weighed 4 pounds, 3 ounces. So over $2 for this. But just going to show you very quickly how I remove this. There are different techniques. I could actually use a grinder and just grind all the way down, slit in this one side, turn it over, use a flathead screwdriver and just pry it up. And that is a very quick method, but what I don't like about using the grinder is it does create some copper dust, so I am losing a little value there, as well as using one of my grinding discs. But the nice thing about these, very easy, taking a pair of tin snips or side cutters, this will be easy to cut through. So just to quickly show you, for example, here's another one, a little bit smaller, but there is my copper. Just gonna cut, there you go, look at that. Just very simple incision there. Very soft copper, there you go. And then I will just turn it over and pop it out. But gonna just quickly finish the last bit of this one here. Again, very easy just to show you, putting it into my vise. And the nice thing is this will just turn. There, you gotta set this up. I'm gonna put on some safety glasses just in case. any type of debris. But just going to turn this as well. Here we go. Just very simple. Turn. There's 1, 2. Just pops it off. There's another one. Okay, there we go. 3. Make sure that they're all cut. And I could turn this both ways, but I like to use them just going up and down or top to bottom. Okay, but the spokes can be small enough to just fit this right in there. So, sorry, hopefully you can see that a little bit better. Okay, and now all I'm just going to do is turn this over, put this back into my grinder. I hope you saw that, the angle. But all I'm going to do now, as mentioned, take a flathead screwdriver, put it underneath, pop it up. There we go. Boom. 1. Get it underneath. 2. There we go. And sometimes if I only get one side of it, especially because there are going to be 2 in there, 2 levels, it can be stuck. There it is. Again, make sure I cut all of them. Look at that. How easy that is. Just turning this and just using leverage from my bench. Okay, but it's going to be interesting to see how much copper I do have. Again, lots of debate online, people saying it's not worth it. You know, and I think for sometimes it does depend on price. Right now, copper has continued to climb at over $5 Canadian. You know, that is amazing. Oh, that one's not cut through. That one's not cut through. So, got to make sure I cut all of them through. Okay, I'm going to finally finish off here. And for all of you here that are watching, I'm going to publish this on Canada Day. So, all of my Canadian friends, happy Canada Day, and to all of my American viewers, I know that July 4th, just around the corner, so happy Independence Day to all of you as well. I hope everybody has a safe, happy holiday, but again, beautiful, beautiful copper, and I really love the questions I'm getting from people asking, you know, just different techniques. Very glad to share my skills or techniques, methods. You know, we're trying to divert as much of this away from the landfill, maximize our profit for sure. And I will say I have seen as well the scrapping community balloon or explode. A lot of new scrappers out there, especially even in my neighborhood. Last Sunday, I had a few pieces of plastic from a vacuum cleaner, and I saw 4 different scrappers slow down, look at it, realize that it was just the casing, and continued on their way. So there we go. That is the copper. And I do also want to mention, now that the copper has been removed, even though this is no longer going to be classified as a copper-bearing motor, it is still going to be thrown into my tin. So still going to get the 10 to 12 cents a pound for this. So I will factor that into my experiment. But whole, this was, as mentioned, 4 pounds, 3 ounces. And now I have, just from cleaning this, 3 pounds, 6 ounces of tin, which means that I'm going to have 13.6 ounces there. So over 3/4 of a pound. So about $4 right there, or $3.50 right there, just from the copper. As well, I still have the 12 cents, 36 cents, because it was 3 pounds worth of tin there. So yes, they are worth it. Did not take me that long to open. You know, did not have to factor in any waste from a grinding disc or any other tools. So 100% profit, found it. 100% diverted from the landfill, other than the plastic fins from this. But yes, ceiling fans, worth taking apart, getting out that copper motor, and very easy to remove that copper. So hopefully that answered those questions. You know, continue asking away. Make sure you don't forget to check the chain. It could be brass. And again, a lot of great goodies from the 40% appliance wire that runs through this as well. So thank you again for that question. Please continue asking. I love working with the scrapping community, not only helping people divert this stuff from the landfill, but trying something new, maximizing their profit as well. So thank you again. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.